So imagine this. It's a Tuesday afternoon, you're enjoying a nice book and maybe a glass of milk and your absolute favorite kind of sandwich. A peanut butter. Actually, let's try a different kind of sandwich. Yes, a chocolate cookie sandwich. That's much better. Anyway, so you're enjoying this great book with your cookies and milk when all of a sudden you dip it in the milk for a little too long and the most tragic thing happens. You think to yourself, how could I let this happen? How can I make sure this never happens ever again? Thankfully, we have food science for that. So basically, we need to figure out the perfect amount of time to dunk a cookie so that it won't fall apart and pretty much destroy the universe. Taking a closer look at the cookie itself, we can see that it's made up of millions of tiny little pores. And these tiny little pores can be seen as a matrix of tiny tubes, or capillaries. Now the coolest thing about capillaries is that when they come into contact with a liquid, the surface tension pulls the liquid up into each of the tubes, seemingly defying gravity. This is called capillary action, which can be related back to the cookie through Washburn's equation. Breaking down all the weird variables of this equation, first you have L, which is the distance the milk must travel, also known as the thickness of the cookie. D is the average diameter of the cookie pores, and then you have gamma, which represents the surface tension of milk, which will vary depending on the kind of milk that you're using, just like eta, which is the viscosity of milk. And most importantly, we have T, which is the time it will take for the milk to travel across the thickness of the cookie. So after you do all your fancy measurements of the things like pore diameter, viscosity, and surface tension, you can put it in your equation of L equals gamma times D times T all over 4 eta. And then, once you have your numbers and plug them in, you solve for T, and you should get a time of 3 seconds to achieve the perfect dunked cookie. So now you're probably thinking, wow, I know it's 3 seconds, I can just move on and continue life, right? Wrong. You obviously need to test it out to see if it actually works. Yeah. So go ahead, grab a cookie, let's see. So what do you think? Alright, cool. All in a day's work when you're a food scientist.